وعلى آله وصحبه وأنصاره وأزواجه وذرته أجمعين أما بعد. Brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to this, another of our sittings. Today's topic is the Tafsir of Ayatul Kursi. Ayatul Kursi is Baqarah 255. There is no doubt that Ayatul Kursi is the greatest ayah of the Holy Quran. So the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet ﷺ said in a famous hadith that Ayatul Kursi is the greatest ayah of the Holy Quran. And the greatest surah of the Quran is Surah Fatiha. So the Rasul ﷺ asked a man, what is the greatest ayah of the Quran? And when he answered and said Ayatul Kursi, he made a dua for him and said, may Allah Ta'ala continue to bless you with knowledge, with ilm. The hadith, whereas the hadith I just quoted, Ayatul Kursi is the greatest ayah of the whole Quran. So in this ayah, Ayatul Kursi, Allah Ta'ala said, Allahu la ilaha illahu al-hayy al-qayyum, la ta'khuduhu sinatun wa la noom, lahu ma fi as-samawati wa ma fi al-ard, man dha alladhi yashfa' indahu illa bi'idhnih, يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يعوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. He is Allah, none has the right to be worshipped except Allah. He is Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, the ever-living, the one who sustains and protects all that exists. Neither slumber nor sleep overtakes him. Unto him belongs whatsoever is in heaven and whatsoever is on earth. Who is it that can intercede with him except by his permission? He knows what happens to them, his creatures, in this world and what will happen to them in hereafter. And they will never compass anything of his knowledge except that which he wills. His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth, and he feels no fatigue in guarding and preserving them. And he is the Most High, the Most Great. It was reported in a sahih hadith from the Rasul ﷺ that it is the greatest ayah of the book. Have you got takhrij narrated by Muslim? This hadith was narrated by Muslim. Ayatul Kursi protects you from magic, it protects you from the evil eye. Ayatul Kursi is your protection. So not only is it the greatest ayah of the Holy Quran, but Ayatul Kursi is also your protection. It protects you throughout the day. The other hadith that I have about Ayatul Kursi is the Ayatul Kursi, it drives away the shaitan. Ayatul Kursi drives away the shaitan. So if you should recite Ayatul Kursi in your house, it keeps the shaitan at bay. Ayatul Kursi contains the greatest name of Allah. So Allah has 99 names. One of his names is Al-Ism Al-Azam, the greatest name. And Al-Ism Al-Azam is Allah, and Ayatul Kursi contains that name. Where is the hadith I quoted? Ayatul Kursi is your protection. I quoted the hadith, Ayatul Kursi drives away the shaitan. I quoted the hadith, Ayatul Kursi has al-Ism al-Azam, the greatest name, inside of it. Please find these hadiths. Whose job is it to bring the hadiths? Okay, bring the hadith. You post the hadiths. You're taking too long to post the hadiths. Could you please post the hadiths? So Ayatul Kursi contains al-Ism al-Azam, the greatest name. Allah's greatest name is in these two ayahs, and your deity is one deity. There is none who has the right to be worshipped except Him. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. And the opening of Al Imran, Alif Lam Mim, none has the right to be worshipped but He, the ever living, the sustainer. Ayatul Kursi should be recited after every Fard Salah. So the Holy Prophet in another hadith said that Ayatul Kursi should be recited after every Fard Salah. Okay, find the hadith where the Prophet said you should recite Ayatul Kursi after every Fard Salah. If you recite it after every Fard Salah, that will be your entry into paradise. Every prescribed Salah. It is narrated from Abu Umama that the Messenger of Allah said, whoever reads Ayatul Kursi after every Fard Salah, only his death prevents him enter into Jannah, collected by Nasa'i and At-Tabarani. So these are the merits of Ayatul Kursi. Allah Ta'ala has 99 names. Whosoever memorize these names and act according to these names, he will enter the paradise. The Rasul said in a hadith collected by Tirmidhi, Allah Ta'ala has 99 names. Whosoever act according to these names, whosoever memorize these names, that person will enter the paradise. Find that hadith. So Allah Ta'ala has 99 names, but Ayatul Kursi, it contains Al-Ism Al-Azam. Al-Ism Al-Azam is Allah, the greatest name. Al-Ism Al-Azam, the greatest name is Allah. The greatest name is Allah. Al-Ism Al-Azam is Allah, and Ayatul Kursi contains the greatest name. So it is makruh to call Allah by any other name. And when Muslims give da'wah to Christians, they say God. The reason why they use the word God is for the sake of da'wah. But when you are talking to a Muslim, you are not allowed to use the word God when you are speaking to a Muslim. And the only reason why Muslims say God when they are speaking to Christians is for the sake of da'wah. But to use the word God between yourself as Muslims, this is makruh, it's not permissible, it is makruh. Because Allah has Al-Ism Al-Azam. And that Ism Al-Azam is Allah. Somebody gave me a tool. I hope my voice is clear. Tell the person to leave the room and get back. The person has a dodgy computer. The person needs to leave the room and get back. As for the expression, La ilaha illa hu, the expression La ilaha Illahu, it means there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. The meaning is there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah. As for his name, Al-Hayy, Hayy, Al-Hayy, it means the ever living, the one who cannot die. As for his other attribute, Al-Qayyum, capital Q, Al-Qayyum, it means the one who sustains everything in the heavens and the earth. Al-Qayyum by itself, not Al-Hayy, Al-Qayyum by itself. That's what I want, Al-Qayyum, yes, by itself. It means, Al-Qayyum means the one who sustains everything in the heavens and the earth. The one who sustains everything that exists, whether it's in the heavens or it is on earth. Then Allah Ta'ala said it in the ayah, لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. Neither slumber nor sleep overtakes Allah. Neither slumber nor sleep overtakes Allah. The Prophet said in a famous hadith collected by Ibn Majah that Allah Ta'ala, He doesn't sleep, and it's not befitting of Allah that He, Allah, should sleep. Because, please find the hadith. Because if Allah should sleep, who will govern the heavens and the earth? To sleep is a sign of weakness. To sleep is a sign of weakness. And Allah Ta'ala is above all human imperfections. To sleep is a form of imperfection. A famous hadith collected by Ibn Majah, the Prophet said Allah doesn't sleep and is not befitting of Ar-Rahman, the most gracious, the most merciful. It's not befitting of Allah that He should sleep. The veil of Allah is light. Everything has a hijab. What is the hijab of Allah? The hijab of Allah is light. So when the Rasul went to Al-Isra wal-Miraj, he didn't see Allah. All he could see is light. When Aisha said, "Did you see your Lord?" He said, "All I could see is light." Because the veil of Allah is light. So when you say as Muslim, Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun, Surah 37, 180 to 182. Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun, wa salamun ala mursaleen, walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Why do you say Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun? When you say Subhanallah, Subhanallah means Allah is above all the imperfections that the kuffar ascribe unto Him. That's what you are saying. Subhana Rabbika Rabbil Izzati Amma Yasifun. Allah is above all the human imperfections that the kuffar attribute unto Him. That's what you are saying when you say Subhanallah. When you pray behind an imam and he makes a mistake, you correct the imam by saying Subhanallah. Why do you correct the imam by saying Subhanallah? I didn't ask for that ayah. I didn't ask for that. I asked for Surah 37, Surah Safat. I even wrote what I want on the board. Surah 37, verse 180 to 182. I didn't ask for Ali Imran. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. When you pray behind an imam and he makes a mistake, you say Subhanallah. That is to remind the imam, you are a man, a human, so you are prone to making mistakes. But Allah is not human, therefore it is impossible for Allah to make a mistake. That's why you correct your imam by saying Subhanallah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wassalamun ala mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Unto him belongs whatsoever is in the heavens and whatsoever is on earth. Unto him belongs whatsoever is in the heavens and whatsoever is on earth. This sentence, unto him belongs whatsoever is in heaven and whatsoever is on earth, is exactly similar to Surah 19, verses 93 to 95. The beauty about the Quran is that the Quran resembles the Quran. The Quran did not contradict the Quran. So I can use ayahs to explain ayahs. Surah 19, verses 93 to 95. Allah Ta'ala said, there is none in the heavens and the earth but comes to the most gracious as a slave. Verily, he knows each one of them and has counted them a full counting. And every one of them will come to him alone on the day of resurrection without any helper or protector or defender. So unto Allah belongs whatsoever is in heaven and whatsoever is on earth. This ayah is similar to Surah 13, verse 2. When Allah said, unto him belong whatsoever is in heavens and whatsoever is on earth, this ayah is similar to Surah 13, verse 2. Allah alladhi rafa'a as-samawat bighayri 'amadin tarawnaha thumma istawa al-arsh wa sakhkhara ash-shams wal-qamar kullun yajri li ajlin musamma. Allah is he who raised the heavens without any pillars that you can see. Then he rose over the arsh in a manner that befits his dignity and his majesty. He has subjected the sun and the moon to continue going around, each running its course for a term which is fixed. He manages and he regulates all affairs. He explains the verses, the evidences, the lessons, the signs, the revelations for you in details that you may believe with certainty in the meeting with your Lord. Also, this ayah is similar to Surah 67, verse 1. تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. Blessed is he in whose hand is the dominion, and he is able to do all things. Unto him belongs whatsoever is in heavens and whatsoever is on earth. Then Allah Ta'ala said in Ayatul Kursi, Man dalladhi yashfa' indahu illa bi'idhni. Who is it that can intercede with him except by his permission? When Allah said, who is it that can intercede with him except by his permission? who can intercede with him except by his permission. This sentence is exactly similar to Surah 53, verse 26. Who is it that can intercede with him except by his permission? This ayah is similar to Surah 53, verse 26, where Allah Ta'ala made mention of Shafa'ah again. So Allah Ta'ala said, Surah 53, verse 26, and there are many angels in the heavens whose intercession will avail nothing except after Allah has given leave for whom He wills and who He is pleased with. So there are many angels who are in the heavens interceding for people. The way they interceded for Prophet Yunus. Prophet Yunus was from Mosul in Iraq. He ran away and got swallowed up by the whale. The angels interceded for him, and Allah accepted their intercession. So the whale spat him out. But Allah said, there are many angels who are in the heavens interceding for people, but these intercessions will never be accepted except by the permission of Allah. Intercession is a reality in the dunya and in the akhirah. Intercession is a reality in the dunya and in the akhirah. There are things that are interceding for the servants of Allah right now as I speak in the dunya. There are many, many types of intercession. Intercession is a reality in the dunya and in the akhirah. Intercession means to beg Allah to do good for someone. That is the definition of intercession. Su'al al-khair lil-ghair. To beg Allah to do good for someone. So, what are the various types of intercession? In bold writing, the various types of intercession. What are the various types of intercession? There are many types of intercession. We will count them one by one. The first intercession is called the Great Intercession. That's number one. The Great Intercession is the intercession of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When all the other prophets will refuse to intercede, Muhammad will step forward and intercede. This great intercession is when all the other prophets will intercede, and then Muhammad will step forward and intercede. So the hadith says on the day of judgment, 16 doesn't have the hadith. He doesn't have the hadith. On the day of judgment, the people go to Prophet Adam and said, you are the first man, so intercede. Adam said, I cannot intercede. Why? Because I ate from the haram tree. They'll go to Noah and say, you are the first messenger, intercede. No, Noah said, I cannot intercede because I asked Allah a question I shouldn't have asked. And then the people will go to Abraham. I don't see what miserable state you are in. Intercede. Noah will reply, today my Lord has become so angry as he has never been angry before, and I will never be in the future myself. Go to Muhammad. And this is a short version of the hadith because they will go to Abraham. Abraham said, I told 3 lies. They'll go to Moses. Moses will say, I killed a man, I cannot intercede. They'll go to Jesus. Jesus will say, I'm not worthy. Go to Muhammad. Anyway, you have brought me the shorter version of the hadith. I'll accept your version. Even though I learned the long version in university. They will go to Adam. Adam will refuse. They'll go to Noah. Noah will refuse. They'll go to Abraham. Abraham will refuse. They go to Moses. Moses will refuse. I killed a man. Abraham said, I told 3 lies. They'll go to Jesus. Jesus will refuse. Then they'll go to Muhammad. The Prophet said in another hadith, I am the most noble son of Adam on Judgment Day, and this is not to boast. I am the first to come out of the grave. This hadith is found in Sahih Muslim. I am the first to intercede, and I will be the first to have his intercession being accepted. I am the most noble son of Adam on the day of judgment, and this is not to boast. So this hadith you brought me is for the first intercession, and that is called the Great Intercession. Another example, number 2, the intercession of the Shaheed for 70 members of his family. That's intercession number 2. The intercession of the Shaheed for 70 members of his family, those who die on the battlefield. Bring the hadith after the point is posted. The intercession of the Shaheed for 70 members of his family. Okay, find the hadith. Is found in Tirmidhi, in which the Prophet said the Shaheed has 6 special favors with his Lord. From the first drop of his blood, all his sins are forgiven. And he is saved from the punishment of the grave. And he is saved from the great fear, the great terror. He will be given a crown of dignity to wear on his head in paradise. He is married to 72 virgins of paradise, and he'll intercede for 70 members of his family. This is a strong hadith found in many books of hadith. It's found in Ibn Majah as well. You are not allowed to apologize to the kuffar because they try to ridicule the hadith. They focus on the section that says you will have 72 virgins in paradise. Many kuffar try to ridicule the hadith. You are not allowed to say the hadith is weak because you want to please and appease the kuffar. That's not acceptable. The third intercession is the intercession of the Hafiz. The Hafiz will intercede for 10 members of his family. Now, my sheikhs told me the hadith is weak, but I am allowed to quote a weak hadith to encourage you to do pious deeds. For 10 members, you could have specified. The Hafiz will intercede for 10 members of his family. The hadith is found in Bayhaqi and Tabarani. The hadith was collected by Bayhaqi and Tabarani. My sheikhs told me in university the hadith is weak. I'm telling you, I am allowed to use a weak hadith to encourage you for pious deeds. The other intercession is the intercession of the angels. That's number 4. Number 4, the intercession of the angels. Number 5, the intercession of the animals. You did not know animals beg Allah to forgive you of your sins. Subhanallah. You did not know that the animals intercede. Even the ants in the hole. Find the hadith. I think it's collected by Tirmidhi as well and Ibn Majah. The angels in the sky and the fishes in the sea, even the ant in the hole, beg Allah to forgive a person who teach the people their deen. But many of you did not know that even the animals intercede. Even the ants in his hole intercede and beg Allah to forgive you of your sins. Number 6, the intercession of the babies. If you have a miscarriage, you shouldn't worry about it. It's an investment. the intercession of babies who die before puberty. So when we say the babies will intercede, we're talking about those who die before puberty. Not every baby. The one who died before puberty. They will intercede. I even have a hadith to back it up, and I have a Quranic verse. Surah 52, verse 21. Allah spoke about the babies will intercede for their parents. And when the scholars discuss intercession, they always mention the intercession of the babies, and they always bring Surah 52, verse 21 as their evidence. Surah 52 is called the Mount, the Tur. وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَاتَّبَعَتْهُمْ ذُرِّيَّتُهُمْ بِإِيمَانٍ أَلْحَقْنَا بِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ. That's the evidence. As for those who believe and whose offspring follow them in Iman, to them shall we join their offspring, and we shall not decrease their reward. So when the child is in paradise, the child say, where is my mother? The child will say to Allah, where's my mother? I want my mother. And then Allah will put the mother in paradise with the child. And the scholars mention about the miscarriage fetus. Okay, find the hadith about the miscarriage fetus and the fatawa, that these babies will intercede as well. Could you please find the fatwa and the hadith about the miscarriage fetus? They will intercede. Okay, give a name to a child who you miscarried. So if you have a miscarried fetus, you have to name the child. That's the sunnah. Because they are your pioneers who went before you in order to earn you high positions in the hereafter. That's one hadith. So the sunnah is when you miscarry a child, you should give the child a name and don't worry about the child. That child will beg Allah to give you the paradise. Give a name to children whom you miscarried, so that Allah will make your scale of good deeds heavier with them. Otherwise, she will come and say on the day of judgment, O Lord, they missed the thawab they would earn from me by not naming me. Yes, so the other intercession and that the scholars discuss when they talk about intercession is the intercession of the babies. And many people do not know that even the animals intercede. Even the fishes in the sea intercede. When Jonah was in the belly of the whale, the fishes in the sea interceded for him, and the angels interceded on behalf of Jonah. We covered the story of Jonah in this room. Narrated Abu Sa'id, the woman requested the Prophet, please fix a day for us. This reminds me of South Africa. When I was on tour of South Africa, the woman said, fix a day for us to ask you questions about our deen, and we don't want any man to be there, just you and us, Shaykh Faisal. This was in Johannesburg and Cape Town. Please fix a day for us. So the Prophet preached to them and said a woman whose 3 children died would be screened from the hellfire by them. Hearing that, a woman asked, if 2 died, the Prophet replied, even 2 would screen her from the hellfire. And Abu Huraira added, those children should be below the age of puberty. Well, I've already said that. The kids that will intercede and they died, they will be the children who are beneath the age of puberty. The other intercession is the intercession of the Quran. That's number 7, the intercession of the Quran. Number 7, intercession of the Quran. Children who die before puberty are very lively in heaven. They are like rattling fish. One of them meets his parents and takes hold of her clothes and does not let her go until Allah lets her parents into heaven with her. Okay, thank you for the many hujjah. So the child who died before puberty will hang on to your clothing and will not let you go until Allah give you paradise with your baby. So when you have a miscarriage, don't worry about it. That is your investment for paradise. Do you have any more hadiths about the children who died before puberty? By the way, you might be asking, what about the children of Kuffar? The children of Kuffar will be servants for the believers in paradise. The children of the Mushrikeen will become servants for the Muslims in paradise. So if somebody asks you, what about the children of Kuffar who died before puberty, what will be their status? What is their destiny? My answer to your question is, the children of Kuffar, they will become servants for us in paradise. They won't go to hell. And the reason why I bring this hadith is because in the question and answer session, I suspect one of you may ask, what will be the status of the children of Kuffar? I've already answered with the hadith. The other intercession, and that is intercession number 7, is the intercession of the ordinary Muslim. No, the ordinary Muslim, sorry. Number 7, the intercession of the ordinary Muslim for his brothers and sisters. So there is a hadith in which you, the ordinary Muslim, when I say an ordinary Muslim, you are not a prophet nor a messenger. That's number 7. The intercession of the ordinary Muslim for his brothers and sisters. The reason why we say the ordinary Muslim is because this person who is interceding is not a prophet or a messenger. He is just a Muslim. And there is no prophet after Muhammad. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. If you believe there's a prophet after Muhammad, you're a kafir. Yes. They will be in paradise and they will not see their friend. And they realize that their friend end up in the hellfire. So he will say to Allah, oh Allah, that friend of mine, he's a Muslim brother. We used to pray together in the same masjid. We used to fast together. We even made umrah together. We made hajj together. Take him out of hell. An ordinary Muslim will say that to Allah. Allah will say, go and look in the hellfire. If you can find one person with an atom's weight of iman or a dinar of iman, take him out of the hellfire. If you can find a person who has the faith of a dinar, then take him out of the hellfire. And this is hadith Bukhari. So many of you think it's only a prophet can intercede on Judgment Day. That's not the case. That's your mistake. An ordinary Muslim can beg Allah to take his Muslim brother out of the hellfire. He will say to Allah, we used to pray together in the same masjid. Oh Allah, we went to Mecca together to perform Hajj or Umrah. Oh Allah, we went to the battlefield together. Oh Allah, we used to fast together. We used to break our fast together in Ramadan in the same masjid. Allah will say, go and look in hell. If you can find a person with faith equal to 1 dinar, you can take him out of hell. The 8th intercession is the intercession of Ramadan, number 8. So Ramadan will come and say, oh Allah, I kept him hungry. So give him. This woman fasted even when she was pregnant. So give her paradise. Ramadan will intercede. The 9th intercession is the intercession of the Quran. Number 9. The intercession of the Quran. No, bring the point. Because the hadith covers both points. Okay, bring the hadith where the Prophet said Ramadan will intercede and the Quran will intercede. Find the hadith. Ramadan will intercede. Okay, you found the hadith. Abdallah ibn Amr reported that the Messenger of Allah said The fast and the Quran are two intercessors for the servant of Allah on the day of resurrection. Okay, these are the 9 intercessions. If you can find a 10th, let me know about it. These are the 9 types of intercessions mentioned by the scholars. If you can find a 10th intercession, I'll be happy to welcome your knowledge. That means you have more knowledge than me. Go and find a 10th intercession. I mentioned the intercession of the Prophet, which is called the Great Intercession. Did I mention the other prophets? There's a 10th. The intercession of other prophets, other than Muhammad. So it's not just Muhammad that will intercede, other prophets will intercede. Prophets other than Muhammad will intercede as well. Then I mentioned the intercession of the Hafiz. He will intercede for 10 members of his family. My sheikhs in university told me my hadith I am quoting is weak. I'm saying to you, I am allowed to quote a weak hadith. You don't dump weak hadiths. Ahmad ibn Hanbal did not dump weak hadiths. I am allowed to quote a weak hadith to encourage you to do acts of righteousness. For example, I can quote the hadith, the worst halal is divorce. Everybody knows the hadith is weak, but I am allowed to quote it to prevent you from divorcing your wife. So don't think we dump weak hadith. We dump fabricated hadiths. That's the hadith we dump. The fabricated ones, not the weak ones. I am allowed to quote a weak hadith to encourage you to perform pious deeds. So these are the 10 types of intercession. Then I told you the intercession of the Shaheed. He will be able to intercede for 70 members of his family. Now, that hadith is strong. No sheikh said that hadith is weak. The Shaheed will intercede for 70 members of his family. That hadith about 70 members of his family, that hadith is strong. No scholar said it is weak. I told you about the intercession of the babies who died before puberty, the intercession of the angels, and Allah even spoke about the intercession of the angels. The intercession of the angels take place in the dunya. And Allah said there are many, many angels in the heavens who are interceding on behalf of people in the dunya, but their intercession will not be accepted without my permission. And I told you about the intercession of the animals, the fishes in the sea, the birds in the air, even the ants in his hole intercede. And these intercessions take place in the dunya. I've given you 10 types of intercessions. Now let us continue with the tafsir of the greatest surah of the greatest ayah of the Holy Quran, Ayatul Kursi. So Allah Ta'ala said, Man dhalladhi yashfa' indahu illa bi'idhni. Who is it that can intercede with Allah save by his permission? The other sentence, he knows what happens to them in this world, and he knows what will happen to them in hereafter. He knows what happens to them in this world, and he knows what will happen to them in hereafter. The other sentence, he knows what happens to them in the dunya, and he will know what happened to them in hereafter. My screen is not showing it. It comes up there. Okay. I hope my connection is good. He knows what happens to them in this world, and he will know what happened to them in hereafter. While they and they will never compass anything of His knowledge except that which He wills. Now, when Allah Ta'ala said He knows what happens to them, before I explain this ayah, I say it is worthy of mentioning some people will be denied Allah's intercession. It is worthy of mentioning that some people will be denied intercession. So don't think that everybody is qualified for intercession. Allah said some people will be denied intercession. So who are those who will be denied intercession? Allah spoke about them in Surah 74, verses 42 to 48. So intercession is not a free-for-all thing. Not everyone is qualified. Surah 74, 42 to 48. Not everyone is qualified to receive intercession. Allah said some people will be denied. So Allah said, Ma salakakum fi saqar. What caused you to be in saqar? Saqar is a place in hell. If you enter it, you cannot get out. S-A-Q-A-R. Saqar, S-A-Q-A-R, is a place in hell. Once you enter it, you won't get out. So Allah will say to some people, what caused you to end up in saqar? Do you know who will be in saqar? The Pharaoh will be in saqar. The Pharaoh will be in saqar. Abu Lahab and Abu Jahl, they will be in saqar. A place, if you enter it, you will never get out. You will abide in hell forever. There is a place in hell, if you enter it, you will get out. Because that place in hell is called Jahim. If you go to Jahim, you will come out with the intercession of Muhammad. And when all the bad Muslims come out of Jahim, that section will go out. It won't blaze anymore. That section will go out. But Saqar, if you enter that section of the hellfire, you cannot get out. You will abide in there forever. So Allah will say to them, what caused you to end up in Saqar? Bring me the hujjah from ayah 42 to 48. They will say, Lam naku min al-musallin, we never prayed our salah. Walam naku nut'im al-miskin, we never fed poor people. So we never prayed nor paid zakah. Wa kunna nakhudu ma al-kha'idin, and we used to engage in rubbish talk, empty talk. The Americans call it bull something. I'm too shy to tell you what they call it. Empty talk, rubbish talk. We used to engage in rubbish talk. Falsehood. وَكُنَّا نُكَذِّبُ يَوْمِ الدِّينِ, and we used to reject faith in the day of recompense. حَتَّى أَتَانَا الْيَقِينَ, until yaqeen came and caught us. What is yaqeen? Yaqeen is death. فَمَا تَنْفَعُهُمْ شَفَاعَةُ الشَّافِعِينَ. So no intercession can help them. Do not think that everyone is qualified for intercession. Some people are so evil, they will be barred from the intercession of the Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they will be debarred. Now, I quoted you a hadith in which some of you will say to Allah, oh Allah, look at my friend, my Muslim brother, he's in the hellfire. Oh Allah, he used to pray with us. Oh Allah, he used to go to Hajj with us. And Allah will say to you, go and take anyone out of hellfire who has a dinar of iman. You interceded for your Muslim brother, and Allah allow you to intercede. That is because your Muslim brother established the salah. But as for the other person who called himself a Muslim, but he did not establish the salah, no intercession will be of any help to him. Because Allah said they are in succor because they never used to pray. Why did Allah begin by saying Lam nakum min al-musallin? Allah mentioned salah, then Allah mentioned zakah. Why? Because the most important act of ibadah is the salah. That's why Allah began with that manner. Allah arranged them in that manner because the most important act of ibadah is the salah. So Allah said in Surah 21, verse 28, وَلَا يَشْفَى إِلَّا لِمَنِ ارْتَضَى. No one can intercede except by Allah's will. Except who Allah is pleased with. There are three conditions for intercession to be accepted. The three conditions for the intercession to be accepted, mentioned by the ulama. Ulama means scholars. The three conditions for the intercession to be accepted. Number one, Allah has to allow the intercession to take place. That's the first condition. The second condition is Allah has to be pleased with the interceder. The interceder should have this status. Allah has to be pleased with the interceder. The interceder should have the status to intercede. The third condition, Allah has to be pleased with the sinner who needs intercession. Allah has to be pleased with the sinner who needs the intercession. So these are the three conditions. As for those of you who want the Prophet to intercede for you, you have to beg Allah to give him al-Maqam al-Mahmud. As for those of you, it's called the noble station. As for those of you who want the Prophet to intercede for you on Judgment Day, you need to beg Allah to give Muhammad al-Maqam al-Mahmud, the noble station. The noble station is in Surah 17, verse 79. The noble station is found in Surah 17, verse 79. How do you beg Allah to give Muhammad al-Maqam al-Mahmud, the noble station? You need to make the dua after the adhan. Allahumma rabb hadhihi da'wat at-tamma. Surah 1779. Allahumma rabb hadhihi da'wat at-tamma wa salat al-qa'ima. Ati Muhammad al-wasila wal-fadila. Wab'athu al-Maqam al-Mahmud alladhi wa'adta. If you make the dua after the adhan, then the Prophet will intercede for you on the day of judgment because you begged Allah to give Muhammad al-Maqam al-Mahmud. This is how you gain the intercession of Muhammad on the day of resurrection. Always beg Allah to give Muhammad al-Maqam al-Mahmud, which is called the noble station. It is translated in the ayah as a station of pride, of praise and glory. The translator translated it as the station of praise and glory. And the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will intercede for people whose good deeds are equal to their bad deeds. Listen to what the Prophet will do. The three conditions for the intercession to be accepted: Allah has to allow the intercession, Allah has to be pleased with the interceder, and the third, Allah has to be pleased with the sinner who needs intercession. That's the third condition. Is there? Huh? Allah has to be pleased. Okay, Allah has to be pleased with the sinner who needs the intercession. Because Allah is pleased with some sinners. How do we know? Because Allah will say to the Muslim who said to Allah, "Oh Allah, my Muslim brother is in the hellfire. My Muslim brother is in the hellfire." Allah said, "Go and take anyone out of hell who has the level of a dinar, one gold coin, that amount of iman out of hell." So Allah has to be pleased with the sinner who needs the intercession. These are the three conditions for intercession. The Prophet Muhammad will intercede for some Muslims whose good deeds are equal to their bad deeds. The Prophet Muhammad shall intercede for some Muslims whose good deeds are equal to their bad deeds. Then the Prophet Muhammad will intercede for some Muslims who deserve to go to the hellfire. They have more evil deeds than bad deeds. They deserve to be dumped into the hellfire. And even though they deserve to be dumped into the hellfire, still the Prophet will intercede for them. And Allah will forgive them, even though they have more evil deeds than bad deeds. Still, if they have more evil deeds than good deeds. Their evil deeds are more than good deeds. Still, Allah will give them Jannah because of the intercession of Muhammad. So why Allah allow the intercession to take place? Why did Allah allow such an intercession to take place? Because their evil deeds are much more than their good deeds. Allah will allow the intercession to take place because Muhammad was sent as a mercy for mankind. Secondly, these people, they did zina, they drank alcohol, some of them smoked weed, they had girlfriends, they went to nightclubs, but they did not commit shirk. That is the reason Allah allowed the intercession to take place. They might have their sins reaching the sky. They come to Allah on Judgment Day with their sins reaching the sky. And their good deeds are little, their bad deeds are a lot. They have more bad deeds. Yet Allah will allow the intercession to take place because they did not commit shirk. And Allah said in Surah 4 verse 48, Inna Allah la yaghfir an yushraka bihi wa yaghfir ma duna dhalika liman yasha. Verily Allah doesn't forgive shirk, but Allah will forgive anything else to whom He please. Inna Allah la yaghfir an yushraka bihi wa yaghfir ma duna dhalika liman yasha. Okay, now that you have found the ayah, find the hadith in which Allah said in a hadith Qudsi, Ya ibn Adam, Law ataytani bi qurab al-ardi khataya. O children of Adam, if you come to me with your sins reaching the sky. Find the hadith, it's in the 40th hadith of Imam Nawawi. O children of Adam, if you come to me with your sins reaching the sky, as long as you did not commit shirk, I will grant you forgiveness, and I don't care. La ubali, I don't mind. Okay, find the hadith is found in the 40th hadith of Imam Nawawi. So these are the type of intercessions that Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam will perform on Judgment Day. The third type of intercession that Muhammad will perform is he will beg Allah to take people who are already in the hellfire. to come out of the hellfire. The third type of intercession that Muhammad will perform is he will beg Allah to take people out of hellfire who have an atom's weight of Iman, to come out of hell. The Prophet will beg Allah to take people out of hell, Muslims who have an atom's weight of Iman. This is the third type of intercession that Muhammad will perform on the day of recompense. He'll beg Allah to take people out of hell. Which people? Those who have an atom's weight of Iman. Okay, thank you for finding the hadith. Now find the hadith where the Prophet said, يَخْرُجْ مِنَ النَّارِ مَنْ كَانَ فِي قَلْبِهِ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ مِنَ الْإِيمَانِ. Anyone with a mustard seed of Iman will come out of hell with my intercession. We continue with our tafsir. Then Allah said, يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم. Somebody gave me a 2. Is that the case for everybody? Can you hear me? That person has a dodgy computer. يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم. He knows what happens to them. Okay, bring me the sentence. He knows what happens to them in the dunya, and he knows what will happen to them in the hereafter. يَعْلَمُ مَا بَيْنَ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمَا خَلْفَهُم. He knows what happened to them in the dunya, and he knows what will happen to them in the hereafter. He knows what. Huh? I don't see the hadith. What is it? It's okay. He knows what happens to them in the dunya. Mustard seed hadith is long. If it is a long hadith, bring me one sentence from the hadith. The mustard seed hadith is long. If you have a mustard seed of Iman, the Prophet Muhammad will take you out of the hellfire with intercession. If it's a long hadith, bring me one sentence of the hadith with the takhrij. This hadith I learned it in the 1990s when I was in university. No Muslim will be in hell forever. Every single Muslim will come out of hell with what? The intercession of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Only a munafiq and a kafir will be in hell forever. Okay, he knows what happened to them in the dunya. We continue. And he knows what will happen to them in the hereafter. Then it will be said, O Muhammad, raise your head and speak, for you will have to listen. You will be listened to, and ask for you will be granted your request, and intercede for your intercession will be accepted, O Muhammad. I will say, O Lord, my followers, it will be said, go and take out of it all those who have faith in their hearts equal to a small ant or mustard seed. Okay, yes. That is the exact hadith I wanted. So when I quote a hadith and you find it to be a very, very long hadith, just bring me the small section that is relevant to the topic. Because some hadith has 4, 5, 6 different subjects in one hadith. Just bring me the section that is relevant to the topic. Okay, jazakallah khairan for finding the hadith. And they will never encompass anything of his knowledge except what he wills. The next sentence, and they will never encompass anything of his knowledge except what he wills. This section means do you want the intercession of the Rasul for those who did major sins. I have already covered that. That has been covered. I don't want to repeat myself. And could write the sentence, and they will never compass anything of his knowledge except what he wills. This means only Allah Ta'ala knows ilm al-ghayb. Only Allah knows ilm al-ghayb. That's what this part of the ayah means. And when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and they will never encompass of his knowledge except what he wills, means only Allah knows ilm al-ghayb. When the Prophet said one of the signs of the last days is that the Arabs will compete in building tall buildings, that knowledge is ilm al-ghayb. But the Prophet was given that knowledge by Allah, by the permission of Allah. When the Prophet said, one of the signs of the last days, the Arabs will compete in constructing tall buildings, that knowledge is ilm al-ghayb. But that knowledge was given to the Prophet by the permission of Allah, by the will of Allah. And when the Prophet ﷺ said, Ammar ibn Yasir will be killed by the rebellious group, Ammar ibn Yasir will be killed by the rebellious group. That knowledge is ilm al-ghayb. But Allah gave that knowledge to the Prophet by his will, by his permission. And when the Prophet said the first wife to die is the wife with the long hands, the kind wife, Zainab bint Jahsh, that is also ilm al-ghayb. But that knowledge was given to the Prophet by Allah with his permission. Did you find the hadith about Ammar ibn Yasir and Zainab bint Jahsh? The first wife to die will be Zainab bint Jahsh, the wife with the long hands, because she was the kind wife. That is called ilm al-ghayb. And when the Prophet said Ammar ibn Yasir will be killed by the army of Muawiyah, the rebellious group, that is ilm al-ghayb. The rebellious group, the army of Muawiyah, all of that is ilm al-ghayb. But that knowledge was given to the Prophet by Allah, by his will. This is why Allah said, no one can grasp his knowledge. No one can grasp anything of Allah's knowledge except by the will of Allah, by his permission. وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنْ إِلْمِهِ وَلَا يُحِيطُونَ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنْ إِلْمِهِ إِلَّا بِمَا شَاءَ. To assume that a man has complete knowledge of ilm al-ghayb, that is shirk. To believe that a man has complete knowledge of ilm al-ghayb, that is shirk. That is the Rafida Aqidah, the Rafida ideology. To believe that an Imam has complete knowledge of ilm al-ghayb, that is shirk, and that is the Rafida ideology. Rafida means Shia. Okay, bring me the Shia Hujjah. Because they said our Imams, nothing is hidden from our Imams. Our Imams, no knowledge is hidden from our Imams. Well, find the Shia Hujjah. Bring me the Shia Hujjah in blue font. Nothing is hidden from our Imams. They have knowledge of the Ghaib. That is the Shiite, the Rafida ideology. The Imams have knowledge of the past and future, and nothing is hidden from them. Any more Shia will. Now let us refute their dodgy ideology. Surah 31, verse 34. Surah Luqman, verse 34. The very last ayah of Surah Luqman, Allah said there are 5 things no one knows except Him, Allah. There are 5 things that no one knows, these 5 things, except Allah. Surah 31, verse 34. The very last ayah of Surah 31, Surah Luqman. So Allah Ta'ala said, Inna Allah indahu ilmus sa'a. Unto Allah belongs the knowledge of Judgment Day. وَيَنَزِّلْ الْغَيْثِ. And He knows the weather. وَيَعْلَمْ مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ. He knows the nature of what's in the womb. If the child will be Muslim or Kafir when the child grows up, rich or poor, happy or unhappy. مَا فِي الْأَرْحَامِ. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ مَاذَا تَكْسِبُ غَدًا. No one knows what it will earn tomorrow. وَمَا تَدْرِي نَفْسٌ بِأَيِّ أَرْضٍ تَمُوتُ. No soul knows in what land it's going to die. Inna Allah alimun khabir. Allah Ta'ala is all-knowing, well acquainted with the minute details of things. Khabir means He is acquainted with the minute details of things. So to say that your Imams have complete knowledge of the ghaib, that is shirk. I'm not finished refuting the Shad. Bring me Surah Araf, Surah 7, 188. Surah Araf 188. This is the other ayah used by the ulama to refute the Shiites with their kufr, shirk, and zandaqah. So in this ayah, Allah Ta'ala said, قُلْ لَا أَمْلِكْ لِنَفْسِي نَفْعًا وَلَا ضَرًّا إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. Tell the people, O Muhammad, I do not possess for myself naf, benefit, dar, harm, except what Allah wills. وَلَوْ كُنْتُ عَالِمُ الْغَيْبِ لَإِسْتَكْثَرْتُ مِنَ الْخَيْرِ. And if I had knowledge of the ghaib, I would have piled up goodness in abundance. وَمَا مَسَّنِي السُّوءُ. And no harm would touch me. إِنْ أَرَى إِلَّا نَذِيرٌ وَبَشِيرٌ لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. I am only a nadhir, a warner, a bashir, a bringer of glad tidings to people who are sincere believers. Surah 7, 188. Even the Prophet Muhammad, Allah said to the Prophet Muhammad, tell the people, you don't possess for yourself any good or harm except what Allah wills. And if you had knowledge of the ghaib, the unseen, you would have piled up wealth in abundance and no harm would touch you. Tell the people, O Muhammad, you are only a warner and a bashir, a bringer of glad tidings to people who believe. So if the Prophet didn't have complete knowledge of ilm al-ghaib, how can you, the Shiites, the Rafida, tell me that your Imams have complete knowledge of the ghaib and they cannot make mistakes because they know the ghaib? If your Imams know the ghaib, why did Hassan drink honey with poison in it and died? This means Hassan committed suicide. You see how easy it is to checkmate a Shiite? If your Imams have knowledge of the ghaib and he cannot make mistakes because he has knowledge of the unseen, why did Hassan drink honey with poison and die from the poison? Hassan is your second Imam. The first Imam is Ali, and the second is Hassan, and the third is Hussein. He drank honey with poison and died as a result. I thought you said your Imams have knowledge of the ghaib. Look how easy it is to checkmate a Shiite. They don't want to debate with me because they know what's coming. They smelled a rat. Shiites are terrified to debate with me. I would like them to come forward for a debate. Do they have the testicular fortitude for a debate? Have they got the intestinal fortitude for a debate? I relish a debate with a Shiite. To checkmate a Shiite and prove to the audience how ridiculous and ludicrous their ideology is. His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth. The other sentence. Wasi'a kursiyyuhu samawati wal ard. His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth. The $1,000,000 question is, what is the kursi? Some commentators translate the word kursi means his dominion. Kursi is dominion. Some scholars said kursi means his authority. His kursi extends over the heavens and earth. Some commentators said what? The kursi is the dominion. Some commentators said the kursi, what is the kursi? The kursi is dominion. And some say the kursi is his power and authority. Now, if you should ask a Hanbali scholar, what's the kursi? He'll tell you the kursi is a footstool. A Hanbali scholar will say kursi is a footstool. So let's approach Uthaymin and ask Uthaymin what is the kursi. Okay, bring me the fatwa of Uthaymin. Bring me the fatwa of Uthaymin. Let's approach Uthaymin and ask Uthaymin what is the kursi. Let's hear what Uthaymin said about the kursi. It is worthy of mentioning when the Hanbali said the kursi is a footstool, that is the opinion of Ibn Abbas. The Prophet didn't say that. The Prophet didn't say that. That is the opinion of Ibn Abbas. Did the Prophet say the footstool is the kursi of Allah? No, the Prophet didn't say that. Who said it then? Ibn Abbas. We approached a Hanbali scholar a minute ago and asked him what's the kursi, and listen, he gave us the answer. Uthaymin. There are those who say that the kursi is the throne because of the hadith, Allah will set up his kursi on the day of resurrection. They think that the kursi is the throne. Similarly, some say the kursi is the knowledge of Allah and say that the ayah, his kursi extends over the heavens. Baqarah 255 refers to his knowledge. The correct view is that the kursi is a footstool and the throne is that which the most merciful rose over, istawa. And knowledge is the attribute of the knowledgeable one. Now, those who say that the kursi is Allah's power and dominion and authority, they are not wrong. Those who say that the kursi is Allah's power and authority and dominion, they are not wrong. But we say, let us approach a Hanbali scholar and ask him, what is the kursi? We asked Uthaymin, and within a minute, the answer came back to us. What is the kursi? The kursi is the footstool of Allah. Now, who said it? Did the Prophet say that? No, the Prophet didn't say that. Who said it? Ibn Abbas. Ibn Abbas said it, not the Prophet. So, the scholars will tell you this hadith about the kursi being the footstool of Allah, it stopped at Ibn Abbas, mawqoof. Waqi narrated in his tafsir that Ibn Abbas said, kursi is a footstool and no one is able to give due consideration to Allah's throne. Al-Hakim recorded this hadith in his Mustadrak. It is worthy of mentioning that the two sheikhs, Bukhari and Muslim, they did not collect this hadith. Al-Hakim collected it, not the two sheikhs. Al-Hakim collected the hadith from Ibn Abbas, not the two sheikhs, Bukhari and Muslim. However, the ulama said that the hadith is sahih. Even though it is mawqoof, it stopped at Ibn Abbas, the Prophet didn't say it. The ulama, they said that it is sahih, it doesn't have a weak chain of transmitters. وَلَا يَعُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. The next sentence, he feels no fatigue in preserving them. The next sentence, he feels no, ulama, not ulama. He feels no fatigue in preserving them. Allah Ta'ala feels no fatigue in preserving them. Now this sentence is to refute the Christians who believe that Allah Ta'ala rested on the seventh day after creating the heavens and the earth. Exodus, he feels no fatigue in preserving them. This part is to refute the Christians who accuse Allah of resting on the seventh day. The Christians and the Jews, not just the Christians and the Jews, who preach in their churches and synagogues, Allah had to take a rest on the seventh day. Exodus 31, verse 17. Okay, bring me the Bible in blue font. Exodus 31, verse 17. Not only did Allah take a rest, he had to refresh. A'udhu billah. That is shirk. That is shirk. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord created the heavens and the earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. Refresh means to replace your lost energy. Okay, explain refresh. Refresh means to replace your lost energy. Allah does not lose energy. Allah doesn't need to refresh. That is shirk. If you want to see shirk, that is shirk in front of your very eyes. Ayatul Kursi, Allah said, he doesn't suffer any fatigue in preserving them. So what is the meaning of them? Allah said he doesn't suffer fatigue when he is preserving them. What is them? Them means the heavens and the earth. The word them means the heavens and the earth. So Allah Ta'ala, in refuting the false claim of the Christians and the Jews, Surah 50 verse 38. Surah 50 verse 38 is the ayah which Allah Ta'ala used to refute the Jews and the Christians who claim he suffered fatigue. So Allah Ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا فِي سِتَّةِ أَيَّامٍ وَمَا مَسَّنَا مِنْ لُغُوبٍ. And indeed we created the heavens and the earth and all that is beneath them in 6 days, and no fatigue touched us. وَمَا مَسَّنَا مِنْ لُغُوبٍ. That is to refute those who claim Allah suffered fatigue when he created the heavens and the earth, and Allah rested on the seventh day. Until today, the Christians go to church on a Saturday, claiming it is the Sabbath. The Jews, they go to the synagogue on a Saturday, claiming it's the Sabbath. And we can't work on the Sabbath. We can't work. Millions and billions of dollars are lost because of this ideology. We can't work on a Saturday. That ideology is counterproductive. It doesn't belong to this time, this modern time. It doesn't belong. In Islam, we have no Sabbath. And because in Islam we have no Sabbath, Allah Ta'ala told you in Surah 62, verse 10. In Islam, there is no Sabbath because Allah did not rest on the seventh day. فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةِ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. And when Salatul Jum'ah is finished, you may disperse through the land and seek the bounties of Allah by working. Bring me the ayah from the Noble Quran. What did Allah say? فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةِ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. And when Salatul Jumu'ah is finished, disperse through the land and seek the bounties of Allah by working. Why? Because in Islam we don't have any Sabbath because Allah did not rest on the seventh day. That is a big lie and it is shirk. Because Allah doesn't suffer any fatigue, like Allah told you in Ayatul Kursi. وَلَا يَعُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. And Allah Ta'ala is the Most High. Allah is the Most High, the Most Great. Allah is the Most High in status and in position. Where's the ayah? Allah is the Most High, the Most Great. وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. Allah is the Most High in status and in position. So the Prophet said, when you ask for paradise, ask for Firdaus. Because Firdaus is the highest paradise, and at the roof of Firdaus is the Arsh of Allah, and Allah is above the Arsh. Okay, find the hadith. When you ask for paradise, ask for Jannatul Firdaus. It's the highest paradise. And at the roof of Firdaus is what? The Arsh. And Allah is above the Arsh. That's why Allah is the Most High. And Allah Ta'ala is the most great. Because Allah is the most great, Allah said, greatness is my robe and pride is my cloak. And anyone who competes with me in wearing my robe and my cloak, I will dump him in the hellfire. Because Allah is the most great. At the roof of Firdaus is Allah's Arsh, and Allah is above the Arsh. Could you please explain? Allah is the most great. Allah is the most great. And because Allah is the most great, Allah said what? Pride is my cloak. Greatness is my robe. And anyone who competes with me in respect of my robe and my cloak, I will dump him in the hellfire. Because Allah is the most great. And the name that Allah hates the most is what name? The King of Kings. Okay, find that hadith. The name that Allah hates the most is which name? The King of Kings. That name is shirk. Only Allah is the King of Kings. On the day of judgment, Allah will grab the heavens in His hand and said, I am king, where are the kings of the earth? Allah will grab the earth and the heavens in His right hand and say, I am king, where are the kings of the earth? And the name which Allah hates the most is the name that says Shah and Shah, the King of Kings. Or Malik al-Muluk. Did you find the hadith? The name Allah hates the most is the name King of Kings. If you call yourself King of Kings, Allah will disgrace you before you die. The way He disgraced the King of Iran before he died. The moment you call yourself the King of Kings, that's your first disgrace. Because Allah shall disgrace you before you die. The way He disgraced the King of Iran before he died. He died in exile in Egypt. I want the hadith that says the name Allah hates the most is the King of Kings. Okay, thank you for finding the hadith. Last chapter. It's worthy of mentioning that the four tawheeds are inside of Ayatul Kursi. It is worthy of mentioning that the four tawheeds are inside of Ayatul Kursi. When Allah said, Allahu la ilaha illahu, He is Allah, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. That means Tawheed Ibadah. When Allah said, Allahu la ilaha illahu, none has the right to be worshipped except Allah, that is Tawheed Ibadah. When Allah Ta'ala said, that is Tawheed Ibadah. And when Allah said, Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, that is Tawheed Asma wa Sifat. Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, the ever-living and the sustainer of the heavens and earth. Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, that is Tawheed Asma wa Sifat. Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, that is Tawheed Asma wa Sifat. And when Allah said Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum, that is Tawheed Asma wa Sifat. Asma wa Sifat. Wa, double A. Sifat, S-I-F-A-T. One F. Sifat. And when Allah said in Ayatul Kursi, unto Him belong what is in the heavens and the earth. Sifat, S-I-F-A-T, Sifat, Sifat. And when Allah said, unto Him belong what is in the heavens and the earth. When Allah said, unto Him belong what's in the heavens and the earth, that is Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. That is Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. When Allah said, who can intercede with Him except by His permission? Tawheed al-Rububiyyah. Now, when Allah said, who can intercede with Him except by His permission? That is Tawheed Hakimiyah. The authority belongs to Allah. When Allah said, who can intercede except by the permission of Allah, that means Tawheed Hakimiyah. That the final judgment is with Allah. I'll stop here and take 5 questions. So the 4 Tawheeds are inside of Ayatul Kursi. So the four Tawheeds are inside of Ayatul Kursi because it's the greatest ayah of the Quran. The four Tawheeds are inside of Ayatul Kursi because it's the greatest ayah of the Holy Quran. I'll stop here and take 5 questions about the Tafsir you just heard. Because it's the greatest ayah of the Holy Quran. The Muslim jinn sin like we do. The Muslim jinn sin like we do. If so, will they be punished in the hellfire? And if they go to Jannah, will they be able to see them in Jannah? There is no doubt that the Muslim jinn sin like we do. There's a surah in the Quran called the Jinn, and that is Surah 72. In Surah 72, which is the Jinn, they said, there are among us some are righteous. وَإِنَّ مِنْهَا الصَّالِحُونَ وَمِنَّا دُونَ ذَلِكَ كُنَّا طَرَائِقَ قِدَدًا. Surah 72, verse 11. The jinns declared that among them are righteous and some are unrighteous. They are contrary. Some are good in character and some are not good in character. We have different religious groups. You have Muslim jinn, Jewish jinn, Christian jinn, Buddhist jinn, Hindu jinn, Sikh jinn, Rastafarian jinn. They said we are of various religious groups. The second part of the question, will they go to paradise? The ulama agree that the jinn will go to paradise and enjoy paradise just like we do, because they will deflower the virgins of paradise just like we do. Surah 55, verse 56. فيهن قاصرات الطرف لم يثمثهن إنس قبلهم ولا جان. In paradise there are virgins who only look at their husbands. They don't look at other men, they only look at their husbands. No man touched them, neither jinn deflower them. Surah 55, verse 56. The ulama, they use this ayah to say the jinn will inherit paradise like we do if they are righteous jinns. Okay, the next question, please. I'm taking 5 questions. Where are the others? Can you pray with or let someone lead the salah if his pronunciation of Quran is off? Okay, it is haram for someone to lead a prayer if he cannot recite Surah Fatiha properly. So when he says Iyyaka na'budu wa Iyyaka nasta'in, he has to pronounce the shadda. Iyyaka na'budu. Iyyaka na'budu with the ayn. It is haram for someone to lead the salah if they can't recite Surah Fatiha properly, because Surah Fatiha is fard and it has to be recited in proper Arabic. Surah Fatiha is fard and it has to be recited in proper Arabic. So when he recites, he says, Wala Zaleen. That salah is not accepted. You have to say Wala Daleen, the dot, not Wala Zaleen with a Z. That's how some people recite. Wala Zaleen. Because in their language they say Za. So if their president is called Dia ul Haq, they say Zia ul Haq. Dia ul Haq, they say Zia ul Haq. You cannot say Wala Zalin, you have to say Wala Dalin with the Dod. I'm taking 5 questions. Where are the other 2 questions? 3 questions. No more questions. Okay. I'd like to thank Authentic to 19 for the notes. I'd like to thank 16 for posting the Hujjah and 12 for asking donations to the Dawah effort. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. I will now yield the mic. Just stop that.